Órale, solo los tres chingones boxing. Shouts to all the chingones y chingonas. I'm trying to pull something up here so I could just have it on in the background. But anyway, all right, man. So we actually have some fights to talk about. All right. It's been slow in the boxing world. We actually have some fights to talk about along with some cheese mass man. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's bring in El Gran Chingon, El Mero Mero, one, Mr. David Contreras.
Hey, Cholo, you know what? We not only have fights to talk about this week, but you know what? Next week, these next 3, 4 months, hey, brother, they're looking great for boxing, man. I can't
Yeah.
wait, man. I can't wait to hear about your event at Commerce last night.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah, I
yeah.
want
We'll
to
get
hear all
into
about
that.
it, man. Yeah.
We'll get into that. What's up, buddy familia? Now, Mikey is joining us. As a matter of fact, he just popped in and he just popped out. So I don't know if he's having a little issue, but Mikey will be joining us. But outside of that, um, I'll be real. I have not been in touch with what's been going on in boxing all day today. I haven't. So if there's some news that went over my head, that's Spencer. But I do want to rant about something that probably nobody else cares about, but I do. But with that, let me. Sorry
Is it
about
is
that.
it is it you want to rant about Mikey coming out of the closet? Is it that one you want to rant about?
I think people would care about that one. All right, let's
Uh,
see if we could get Mikey on here. The boxing scientist from Mikey TV, one Mr. Mike Zavala.
Gentlemen, what's up? Dave,
hey,
Ed.
Mikey, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother?
Ah, man, good, good. Everything good? Everything good with you, Dave?
You know what? It's
Eh,
freezing over here, but you know what? There's nothing to complain, man. Gracias a Dios,
d-
we're all fine. Thank God.
d- d- define
Okay.
freezing, David. Define
Well,
freezing.
you know what? I think I've gotten thin skin since I've been living in Florida for the past 5 years.
Mhm.
Right now, I believe it's probably about 49 outside. 49. And to us, I mean, look at me, man. I got my sweat jacket. I mean, I got my sweatshirt on. To us, that's cold. It's nothing compared to you guys over there. You know what I mean? But to us,
Mm.
it is. When we're talking about in the summertime, it's 98, 99, but it's really 112 with the humidity. So right now it's cold for us.
Okay. Okay. Well, over here in SoCal, we're in a mean drought. So, but apparently we're supposed to get some rain over the
I'm gonna
weekend.
check out.
Let's see what happens. Oh, Mikey broke up pretty badly right there.
Yeah, he looks like he froze up. He'll come back on.
Yeah. All right, Mikey, I'm gonna try it again, big dog. All right. So, okay, lot to get into. So, all right, I don't know if anybody saw the fights last night. It was a bunch of dudes that I did not know, David. I've never heard of any of these guys,
Mhm.
but you know what? I got the credentials, so I'm like, hey, let me go check it
Yeah,
out.
why not,
Did
man?
you
Yeah.
did you have a chance to watch any of them, David?
You know what? I did not. I did not
Okay.
watch not one of them. I looked at the card. I didn't know who these guys were. As a matter of fact, I subscribed to the boxing channel, and nobody mentioned the fights. I mean, nobody even mentioned them. So I was
Okay.
really surprised when you sent it. That's when I looked at the card. What's up, Jesus?
Yeah, yeah. What's up, comrade from the box state,
Hey,
home?
brother, what's going
Saludos.
on?
All right, so yeah, man, I didn't know who these guys were. This was the first Golden Boy show of the year, so I went to go check it out. I was highly impressed with all the fights, with the exception of the main event, which is the guy that they wanted to showcase for the most. Um, it's very easy to see. The guys on the red corner are the showcase fighters because they're undefeated,
Uh,
and the other guys
are they
they
Golden Boy fighters?
yeah,
Ed,
this was a Golden Boy card.
it
This
was
was a
okay.
Golden Boy card. Yeah. So you got all the guys that are undefeated. You got guys with only, 2-0. There's two guys on here that were 2-0. You got another guy that's 7-0, another guy that's 7-0, one guy that's 10-0, and the main event guy that's 14-0. All the guys on the blue corner, they all have losses. As a matter of fact, two guys have more losses than they do wins. But I'll tell you this, David. I've never been to the Commerce Casino. I've passed by it numerous of times, plenty of times. Despite me being from the area, I've never actually been inside. Um, Commerce is not far from Monterey Park. When you go in there, uh, it's a lot of Asians. I don't know what type of Asian. I don't know if it's Chinos or what, but it's a
Filipinos
lot of
probably.
Asians,
Yeah.
man. Gosh, it's a lot of Asians. I'm in there. I walked in there into the casino. I'm like, I didn't even feel like I was in America.
Mhm.
Serio, I did not feel like I was in America. And Commerce is part of the East Side. That is, East LA and Commerce and Montebello but Monterey Park is also part of the East Side of LA. Everybody thinks East LA and they think like it's a little Mexico, and it is. It is.
Mhm.
But Monterey Park does have a good chunk of change of Asians. I don't know what type of Asians, and they are all in that casino, David. I'm telling you, you walk in
Really?
there,
Wow.
yes. If you walk in there, you feel like you're in China.
And you
You
know what?
do.
They say the same thing over there in Santa Ana, right? There's certain areas over there, pockets that there's a lot of Asians over there too. You know?
Probably, probably. I'm not too knowledgeable about Orange County. I mean, I've been out there a few times, but
Yeah.
I haven't really been around like hanging around in Orange County. But yeah, man, I'm like, wow, man, it was crazy. But the fights itself, it's actually a tent. There's no bingo hall or anything that they have. It's a huge tent, so it's outside, and it was cool. They had a good setup. It was fun. I never heard of any of these guys. Some of these guys stood out to me. Caden Griffins from Coachella Valley. He's 2-0. He's now 3-0. Um, White kid. He's out of the Joel Diaz camp.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, that kid looks solid, man. I mean, he was only his third fight, but that kid looks solid. He finished his opponent with a good body shot. Grant Flores, he's 7-0. He's now 8-0. He stops his opponent, and he fights at 154 pounds. David, this kid is a monster. This dude is so big for 154 pounds. I don't know what he does to get down to 154, but this guy blows up, because I just seen him there in person. I'm like, gosh, this guy's
Is he
pressing.
Benavides big panzón acá, or is he
No,
pretty muscular?
no, he's muscular.
At 154, huh? And is he tall like
154.
Benavides, 6'3", 6'1"?
He's somewhere around in the 6'1" ish
Really? Wow.
range. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
154.
he's a pretty big dude. He was towering over his opponent, and he
Is he
just.
a youngster, Ed? Is he a youngster?
Yeah, yes. I
Okay,
believe he's
that's
only
good.
19 years old. Yeah.
Ah,
He was just overpowering his opponent. His opponent from Costa Rica. He just overpowered him and eventually dropped him with an uppercut. And I like that kid. I like Grant Flores. I don't think once he starts getting known, I
mhm.
don't think he's gonna be at 154. He's just way too big, man. Um, the co-main event, I thought it was a little bit of a robbery. I do. Jordan Panthen, who's 10-0, Golden Boy, just signed him. I didn't see anything special about him, David. I didn't see anything
Ah,
special about him. I thought he lost the fight. I
really?
do. Yeah, I thought he lost the fight. He was fighting DeAndre Pettis, who is 12-3, and yeah, the undefeated fighter who just signed a Golden Boy. I thought he lost. I thought it was pretty easy to see that he lost. So, but they gave it to him. They gave it to him. And in the main event, the guy who's on the main banner here, that's Priest. What's his first name? Eric Priest against Tyler Howard. Eric Priest did win. That's a Golden Boy fighter. He moves on to 15-0. But
I
I'm gonna
think
tell
I've
you
seen
guys,
a fight, another card. That name sounds familiar, and his picture looks familiar.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
he
You know what? Well, let me tell you guys this. As I get my charger, David, it was such a boring fight.
really?
Oh gosh, it was boring. The same every round was exactly the same. I was calling the fight. and it just seemed like I was calling the same round every single round. It was so boring, nothing but jabs. He won. He did win the fight. I'm not. I'm not. Unlike the co-main event, where I'm like, no, no, the other Vato won the fight. But
Mhm.
in the main event, no, he really did win the fight. But it was so boring. It was a boring fight.
Hey Ed, but was Oscar de la Hoya there? You know what I
He
forgot? No, he probably wasn't because he was doing clapback Thursday with his speedos, right? Or did he do clapback Thursday there with his speedos? Was he there?
so let me tell you something cool, man.
Mhm.
I got to chop it up with Univision while I
Okay.
was there.
Mhm.
Univision, channel 34, out here in SoCal, Univision.
Mhm.
They were there, they were reporting, and I got to actually talk to Homegirl, right? And she said, "Hey, Oscar's not here," and I'm like, "No, he's not." I Not too many people were there, David.
Yeah.
As far as stars, Bernard Hopkins was there, but no, and she's all like, "Oh, okay," because we heard that he was gonna be here. I'm like, "Oh, really?" And we looked around. It's not a big place, and I told her, I told her I have not seen him, and I haven't really seen too many people. The ones calling the fight that night, last night, was Berto Duran with Alexis Rocha and Gabriel Fandora.
Really?
Um,
The
y-
young lady, huh?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
cool. Did you get a
yeah.
chance to talk to her or to Eric,
No, I
Uran?
didn't get no,
Uh,
I didn't get a chance to chop it up with them. As soon as it was done, they were gone, man. They were
yeah.
out. I did see Alexis Rocha getting into his car, but I didn't want to pull over in the parking lot and be like, "Hey, man," But
What kind of
uh,
car does he drive?
it's a white sedan. I don't know what kind of car it is. Just
Okay, he ain't driving a nice car, Rolls Royce or anything yet.
no, 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 no,
He's a
no.
good
He's
kid,
not,
man.
man.
Good kid.
Uh,
Uh,
but yeah, I got to chop it up with Univision, and they said that they heard that Oscar was going to be there that night. I'm like, oh, okay, but no, he would. The Golden Boy was nowhere to be found, man. So,
yeah.
but it was a fun night. Fun night. We did get a voucher, $25 voucher. I got me a street dog, some popcorn, a Snicker, a Powerade. It was a shout outs to Golden Boy
Yeah, it's
for
the first
for
time they give you a voucher, right? I mean, I've never heard of them giving vouchers.
okay. I've gotten a voucher at another event, and then ever since then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna eat because I'm gonna get the voucher. And when I decided to do that, they didn't give me a voucher, so I'm like,
Really?
orale, all right,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So yeah, shout outs to them, man, for giving me the credentials. It was a good time last night, man. If anybody didn't get a chance to watch the fights, watch them all with the exception of the main event because
Hey,
you'll
brother, it
just
looks
fall
like
asleep.
Chad Cunningham was at the fight, so he saw the fight. Check his
Uh,
statement out at the very bottom.
Tony Boswell.
Tony.
Let me see. That was not robbery. I saw the fight. It was close, but the white landed more and bigger shots. Maybe it looks different live on TV. It didn't look like a robbery. Yeah, I don't really use the term robbery unless it's an actual robbery, unless it's a Paul Williams is Landy Lara thing. So I'm not gonna call it a robbery. But to me, that dude, DeAndre Pettis, I thought he won, and all of us there are sitting on media row. We're like, wow, like, damn, they nah, man, that other guy did not win. He did
Chad,
not win.
Chad's saying that apparently Theo and Ryan were there. You didn't see those two?
Really? No, I did not see them. I
Hmm.
did not see them. And usually when there's guys like that, usually there's a crowd that goes around them. But
Yeah.
no, I did not see it. Bernard Hopkins was there. He was there. And it's not a big place. It's not a big place. But yeah, man, good fights with the exception of the main event. Let's see if Mikey can tap
See if
in.
Bucky can tap in.
1 2 1 2. Can you guys hear me?
Oh,
1 2.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, we got you.
yeah, we got you.
Okay. I
But the sound, hey, Mikey, the sound's really bad, man. If you could tap out and then tap back in one more time,
It
there's
looks like
like a
he's in
lot
his
of
car.
feedback.
Was he in his car or was that the background?
Yeah, no, I think he's in his car.
Hmm.
But all right,
All
let's see,
right.
let's try it one more time.
So,
Yeah, see, I hear it too
1
much.
2 1 2.
that's yeah, here's how much.
All right, knock it off.
Yeah, there's Yeah, there's just a lot of feedback. All right, man. Well, let's see if we could get Mikey back on. So anyway, man, David, let's go ahead and let's get into some actual boxing. Did you get a chance to see the card that the Turk is putting together that has Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney on the same card?
Yes, I did.
What's your thoughts, David? Because there's a change. It was originally supposed to be Pitbull against Ryan Garcia,
It's Rolly now,
but
right?
now
Not Rolly.
now it's Rolly
Yeah.
Romero. I got Mikey's thoughts on Ramirez and Devin Haney, but I don't think I got your thoughts. What's your thoughts, David, on that fight first before we move on to Ryan Garcia? Because the plan is for Devin and Ryan both to get victories so then they could fight down the line. But what's your thoughts on Ramirez and Devin Haney?
Devin Haney's gonna. It's a good fight for Devin Haney, because he needs a good tune-up fight. You know what I mean? He needs a good
Mhm.
tune-up fight, and Ramirez isn't the same Ramirez that we saw 3 years ago. I mean, he's only fought like once or twice, and then especially against Barbosa, dude, he looked terrible. Do you know if they're fighting at 147 or are they fighting at a catch weight? Because
If
that's going to make a difference.
from what I understand, is it'd be 147. From what I understand, I could be wrong, but I believe it's 147.
He might do better, Ramirez, at 147 because he's getting older. I think he's having problems cutting weight because he is getting older now. So I give him more of a chance than I did at 140. So I don't see it 50-50. I see it maybe 45-55 for Haney, because Ramirez, he just doesn't look the same anymore, bro. It's not the same Ramirez anymore. Haney's going to be too fast. It's going to be a boring fight because Haney's going to hit and run all night long. And Ramirez does not cut the ring well. He doesn't cut the ring at all. You know what I mean? So it's going to be a boring fight, but it's going to be by decision. There's not going to be no knockout. It's going to be a very boring fight. And I got Haney by decision, unanimous decision with that.
Yeah, I was saying that I think Ramirez emptied out his gas tank against Taylor,
Yes.
and that
I
was
agree.
it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure how much he really wants it anymore.
Mhm.
So it's a notable name for Devin Haney,
For
and
his comeback fight.
yeah,
Yeah.
comeback fight, and I'm with you, David. I think it's a boring fight.
Yeah.
I don't think we don't see any big fireworks on it. But David, let's move on to the adjustments that they made. That Pitbull. Now, originally it was supposed to be Pitbull, and apparently that fight was supposed to be at a catch weight at 144 pounds. Now, from what I understand, it's not a catch weight. It's just going to be at 147. It's going to be Ryan versus Rolly Romero. Pitbull has a fight. What next Saturday? Not tomorrow, but the following Saturday.
Mhm.
And the undercard of David versus David. So, what's your thoughts, David? Do you like that fight, or were you looking forward to Pitbull versus Ryan?
I was not looking forward to either fight, bro. You know what I mean? I mean, could you imagine Pitbull? He's 5'4", going to 147 against Ryan, who's 6 feet tall at
Mm,
147. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's literally David and Goliath. It would have been a very boring fight because Ryan was going to keep him at arm's length and then catch him with that right. You know what I mean? Or with that left hook. I wasn't looking forward to that one. I'm not. Está muy chaparro. He's too small. You know what I mean? And stature and even arm wise. Could you imagine against Ryan? And Ryan is fast. You know what I mean? Anybody else, I would like with Rayo. It was a good fight because Rayo couldn't keep him off him. Ryan with that length and he's strong at 147. He's going to come in at 160. Ryan that night with a chaparrito like that, it would have been a very boring fight. Um, Now, if they were fighting at 140, then maybe, but not at 147, where he's going to come in at 160. No rehydration costs. Now, with Rolly, I like that a little better because he's bigger, but I
mm.
still think, once again, it's an easy fight for Ryan. It's an easy fight because you know what? He's going to catch him with a left hook. He's going to keep him, but at least it might go 5 or 6, 7 rounds, and there might be some action on that one. Um, do I want to pay for that? No. Did I want him to fight Rolly? Of course not. Rolly's done. You know what I mean? But at 147, I think it'd be a better fight than fighting Pitbull or Chaparro for being so small that he is. Like I said, Ryan's going to come in at 160. He's going to be too tall, too big for little Pitbull. Pitbull should stay at 130, go down to 135. He's not even a 140 fighter, bro. He should stay at 135. He's small. And he would be a good champion at 135. I like the way he fights. A good champion, but not at 140. And now at 147, no.
All right, let's see if we could get Mikey in here. Mikey.
1 2 1 2. Can you hear me?
Yes,
1
much
2.
better.
Yeah,
Much
yeah,
better.
we got you. We got
All
you.
right.
We got you. Mikey, give us your
Thanks, man.
thoughts on the switch from Pitbull to Rolly Romero fighting Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, it's a little bit better fight. But their Pitbull and Rolly they're tailor made for Ryan Garcia. These guys just know how to come forward. Rolly, you've seen a little bit of boxing versus Tank, but eventually he succumbed to getting knocked out. Who else? Who knocked him out? Pitbull knocked him out. Vergoso knocked him out or dropped him, almost stopped him.
Yeah.
Está tocado. In other words, he's touched. Ryan just has to touch him in the right spot by the chin or the top of the head, and he'll knock him out. Ryan's a big kid. Pitbull Cruz, we talked about this, Ed. I think what's the kid that Robert Garcia has that's gonna fight?
The
2-1-2.
one's gonna fight. They're
one that's
breaking up a
yeah.
little bit.
Ramirez, Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, Ramirez has a better chance of beating Haney than Pitbull Cruz or Rolly beating Ryan Garcia. They're tailor made for him. It's going to be a sensational knockout by Ryan Garcia.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, man. All right, okay.
Are you excited about it, Ed?
Oh man, let me tell everybody something, man. I love this fight.
Really?
Yes.
Is he the same kid that talked to the flower?
Yes. Listen. I've wanted this fight to happen for a while now, just for the entertainment value. Look. Let's be honest. Look, Ryan Garcia is not going anywhere. He's not going to be the greatest of all time. He's not going to get close to anything of that sort. So he's not going anywhere. Rolly Romero, he's fading fast. He's fading pretty fast. This is his last fight where anybody's gonna have any sort of interest in Rolly Romero. After this, that's it, man. Nobody's gonna bother with Rolly Romero. Put these two guys up against one another. I'm excited for this. I love this fight, man.
Hey, Ed, after his loss to Pitbull, I didn't think we were going to see Rolly again.
And you know what?
I thought he was gone, man. I thought this kid never again on the main card. I thought he was gone. And when his name came up, I'm like, Rolly Romero? I mean, dude, I thought he was gone already, man. Maybe after this one he will.
You know what? He fought after Pitbull, didn't he? I'm pretty sure. Somebody let us know. I can almost be sure that I saw Rolly fight and he won. I was watching it with my son, and it's like he looked so serious. It was funny. Just the entertainment value. I want to see this fight, David. I want to see.
You know what? He sells fights. Fights. So you know what? I think it was a good move by Turkey because this kid, he's dumb as heck and he sells fights. You know what I mean? So you know what? He'll talk and he'll get Ryan mad and he'll sell the fight. Yeah.
Yeah, Joaquin is saying Ryan versus Rolly would be fire for the fans, and we're gonna get it.
Yeah.
We're gonna get it. I'm excited. I want to watch it. It's gonna be a big thing. Here's the problem that I have. Here's the problem with that I have. They're putting it in Times Square in New York. Why? I've said that. Why? Both of these guys, well, not Rolly, but Ryan and Devin, they're both West Coast guys. Why do you keep on putting these dudes over there in the East Coast? I don't understand that part. Like, have it here, and I know there's people talking about like, oh, the fires. Guy, I just went to a boxing card last night. So the fires don't have anything to do with it. They could even put it in Vegas, or they could put it somewhere. They could put it in San
But
Diego.
the
They could,
fight's not till April sometime, right?
yeah, exactly. So the
Yeah.
fires are not in effect for anybody who's not from the area that are saying like, oh, it's because the fires. No, 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 no. That's not what it is. Like I said, I was just covering Golden Boy fights last night in Commerce in Los Angeles. So, but no, I'm excited for this. I'm excited for this. But look, can you imagine if Rolly and Ramirez win?
That'd be
Like,
great. That'd be great. Yeah, but they're not. But that would be great. I agree with Dimitri. I would like Wally and
Hey,
Jose to win, but it's not gonna.
oh
oh,
man, I think Mikey got a call. All right. Um, what's up, Anthony? Bravo, dos matador. ¿Qué huele? All right, man. So that's fun. I'm looking forward to that. I'm really, really looking forward to that, man. So we'll see as the day gets closer to that, and we're definitely gonna break down the fights for tomorrow. Before we do that, um, David, did you get a chance to see Monster Anyway fight? I didn't get a
I
chance
did.
to see it.
I saw it.
Okay,
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to see it. I know what happened. He scored the knockout. Um, apparently he's not going to. Apparently, okay. So now the plan is, he is going to fight in the U.S. and looks like he might be fighting in Saudi Arabia. He's not going to be fighting his arch nemesis, Japanese nemesis. What's his name?
Junto
Uh, Junto
Nakatani.
Nakatani. Yeah, that this year there's no plans for them to fight. They might fight in 2026,
What?
but that
Why?
he,
Why? Ed? Do you know?
yeah. Well, for one, Monster will be fighting in Las Vegas for his next fight. That's the big plan. They're not gonna waste a Nakatani fight in Las Vegas. That's definitely gonna be done in Japan. And then the following fight that they want him to fight is gonna be in Saudi Arabia. So they're looking for other opponents. Nakatani at the time he's still not on in Monster's weight class. It's one division lower, but eventually he could get up there. Do think that fight still happens, David. But as far as this year and Nakatami, his I'm sorry, Monster anyway, his team has come out and said he himself has come out and said 2025 is the year that I fight around the world. So we're not gonna be having Monster anyway. His next fights as for the rest of the year in Japan, he will be fighting in other spots. So that Nakatani fight has to happen in Japan. So it's not going to happen this year. He wants to fight around the world globally.
You know what? Junto could beat him. Junto
Okay.
Nakatani, out of everybody at 122, Junto could beat him. So if he's going to fight here in Vegas, have Junto fight somebody. No, we didn't get any snow. Anthony was asking me down below. We didn't get any snow, Anthony. The closest to us with snow was Jacksonville. But going back to this, have Junto fight somebody at 122. Have him already go up 122 in this next fight. And I guarantee you, when he goes and he knocks that guy, this Junto is a real deal, bro. And he's tall. He could beat Junto. His next fight, have it be in Saudi Arabia, and then have those two fight. And you know what? If Turkey is signing him to fight in Saudi Arabia, you know what? We just might see that. I might see in 2025 Junto against Nakatani. We just might, even though they're saying they're not. If Turkey has it, dude, he's putting the best with the best. He's not playing top rank. He's not playing golden boy. Dude, he's putting the best with the best. That's one thing Turkey is doing. So we might just see it in 2025. You know what? If I was a betting man, I'd bet on that. I'm not. But if I was a betting man, I'd bet on that. Junto Naka, because he's the only one that can beat him and is a threat. Who else is he going to fight? He's already fought everybody at 122. He's not going to go to 126 unless
Yeah,
he goes to
no.
126. But I don't see it.
And David, that's why I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why I think it makes sense for him not to fight in Japan and use this time. Think of like the position that Canelo Alvarez is at right now, right? At 168 pounds. There's really not a big major fight. So if Canelo Alvarez wanted to travel the world and fight guys at 168, for marketing reasons to show, well, he doesn't have to, but Monster, outside of Japan and hardcore boxing fans, nobody really knows him. So if he uses this time where it's like he's already dominated that division, let me use this time to just go around the world and market myself. So when I do fight Junto Nakatani, now it's a big fight. Well, at least bigger because now people globally know
Ed,
who I am.
Ed, you don't think people know him globally? Just because people in America don't, you don't think that in Australia, dude, he's rated number one fighter for the past year and a half. You don't think people in Mexico, in Australia, in Japan, or in China, and other places know him?
I think they do, David, but he can not like they would if he goes and he actually fights there and catches a buzz, right? Where it's like, okay, like let's talk about like Mexico, right? Okay, so let's say there's people that know him, but if he goes and fights there, right, it turns up like a big buzz, and now people that didn't know who he is like, hey, what's going on? Oh
But Ed,
man, you know
Ed,
what?
think
Monster
about
anyways.
Canelo. Where has Canelo fought? Just Mexico and the United States. Where else has he fought? I mean, he's fought here before. He's fought here before.
Yeah, David, but that's like saying like, hey, Canelo has fought in Mexico before he had his fight with John Ryder. It's like saying, oh, Canelo's fought in Mexico before. Like, yeah, he has, but he wasn't the Canelo
The
Alvarez.
Canelo.
Yeah,
Okay, so when he fought here, he wasn't the Nau.
nobody really knew who he was.
You know what? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. At least here in
Yeah,
America. At least here in
yeah,
America. So when
yeah,
he comes back for his second fight, I think his second or third
yeah.
fight, now people are he's gonna sell out because he's not the same one that fought here 2 years ago. You're right.
Now,
Yeah,
now
yeah,
people know who he is, and
yeah.
hey, he's caught a buzz, and it's like let's go see for ourselves. Because how many people are really gonna go to Japan to go watch him fight?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if he uses this year travel around the world, yeah. So I I think that's the plan. What they said that's their plan. I think they do stick with it, and I think we don't get the Nakatani fight till next year, which
But
is
Ed, who's a threat to him at 122? I mean, who would you like to see him fight?
nobody's a threat to him, David. That's why he's just gonna
Yeah,
go around the world and showcase his skills.
showcases.
That's it's just hey, come watch Nakatani get a knockout.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
basically what it's gonna. Nakatani, I mean, Monster anyway.
That's right.
Come watch
Yeah.
just come watch the monster. So that's basically what
Not
it's gonna be.
changing it, but what do you think about Nakatani, who Junto? He trains there in LA with
Mhm.
Rudy Hernandez
Yeah.
against Bam. What's your opinion on that?
I mean, they've talked about it, and Bam has said like, "Hey, you know what? I'm worried about other things." I look. I would like to see it. I would like to see it at some point. Bam needs to move up. Or what's he fighting at right now? No, he's fighting there at 115.
115.
115. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but you know
No,
what, Ed? I don't like it, man. I think Junto is too big for him, man. Even at
mm,
118. That's why I want Junto to go to 122 and then
mm,
throw Bam in because the other ones are chaparrillos. You know what I mean? They're
yeah.
smaller. They're not as big as Junto. That's why I'm thinking I want to see Junto go up because you know what? That Junto, he can go up to 130. He's a big kid. He's a strong kid. But he needs to go to 122 and stay at 122, bring Bam up, and then Bam start beating the guys at 118. Those would be great fights.
Would it be worth it to you if they both meet at 118?
Man, you know what? I think that would be dangerous for Bam. I like Bam against. You're talking about Junto, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather see Junto beat Inaui, and I think he could beat Naui. I think he could beat him. I really do. Especially with
Okay.
Rudy in his corner, I think Junto could beat him. Yeah. No,
All
I
right.
can't see Bam. I can't see Bam go to 122 against the monster. No, he's too strong.
No,
No.
no, no, not
Yeah.
Bam. He's
Yeah, I
way too much
disagree
of a
with you,
small guy.
Demetrio. First time ever.
Hey, before we get to the fights tomorrow, let me just go ahead and get on a little rant, just real quick. And nobody, I don't think anybody cares about this except for me, but I do, man, because it's all about huevo power. So we have the fight set between Connor the Destroyer Ben, my man, against Chris Eubanks Jr. All right, they are having okay. So Connor Ben fights at 147. Yes, he did fight at 154. What, like two times, right? But
And he
he's
looked
down at
terrible.
one.
He looked terrible, by the way.
He didn't look good. Yeah,
He
he
didn't
did
look
not.
good.
He did not look good.
No.
Chris Eubanks Jr., after signing the contract, after agreeing with it, is going on this tour complaining about the rehydration clause. Dog, you agreed to the contract. You're fighting a guy in two weight classes smaller than you. You agreed to the contract. He's the one moving up. There's a rehydration clause, and he's complaining about it, wanting people to have pity on him. And I say, Charles, you agreed to it. You agreed to it, and you're fighting a much smaller guy. And I don't like the whole sympathy. Oh, look at this. If he beats me, it's because he put this in the contract. You knew that, and he moved up two weight classes to fight you.
What's the rehydration clause? How many pounds? You know, Ed?
I think it's 10, or did I hear 8? It's somewhere 8 or 10, somewhere around there,
So he could go
somewhere
up to
around there,
170 the day of the fight?
something like that. And as I believe Eddie Hearn was saying, the rehydration is 9 o'clock that morning, obviously across the pond in their time. So after that, he could go ahead and gain some more weight if that's what he wants to do. But you're fighting a guy in two weights lower than you, and you knew that. It's not like they snuck it in some fine print, but he's making the rounds, going around telling people, already putting in an excuse. I want Conor Ben to just put it to this dude, man. Let's go. Give you a huevo power, man. Let's go, man. Conor
Hey,
Ben, all the way.
Ed, with all respect, you're absolutely right. You're the only one that cares about those two clowns.
All right.
You know what? We could care less about those British fighters.
I know,
unless,
man.
unless if
I know.
Conor Ben comes to America and starts fighting our fighters at 147, vámonos recio. Then we're on. But fighting Chris
Oh,
Eubanks, who cares about those two, you know?
oh, watch out what you guys ask for when Conor Ben comes this way. Órale,
I want him to. You know what? I
vatos are
want
gonna
him
start
to.
crying.
Yeah, no, I want him to win. Yeah.
Okay, David, let's get into the card tomorrow, man. We got Ernesto Mercado versus Jose Pedraza, man.
It'll be a good
Um,
fight.
yeah. Mercado, he's been catching a buzz, especially like in the barrios, man. People talking about Mercado. He's 16-0, and he's fighting a crafty veteran, man. In Pedraza, Pedraza's no punk. He's been around the block, David. He's been around the block a few times, but he is 35 years old. Mercado's 23, and this kid is a monster. This kid
Yes.
looks great. He looks
Yeah.
phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
David, how say you in this fight?
Knockout. I want Tito to knock him out, and you know what? Tito's ready. What he fights at 140, right?
Yes, yeah. This is
Yeah, junior
uh,
welterweight.
yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This guy Tito, he's ready. I'm glad that they've been, bringing him up slowly, but now little by little, he's going against Pedraza, and let's see who he goes next. I like that fight, and you know what? I got Tito Mercado on that one. I can't wait to see it because he's an exciting fighter.
So it doesn't go the 10 rounds?
No, it'll be a knockout.
By what round?
Um, you know what's going to be hard to say on this one? I would say 6-7.
Okay.
6-7.
Pedraza's no
Mercado will
punk.
knock him out. No, he's no
Pedraza's
punk,
no
but you know
punk.
what?
He's
Been around. He's he's 35 now. He's not the same. I remember his last fight with what Colbert or something. I mean, it wasn't. He's not the same guy, man. Because I remember he was a sniper. I mean, he never wasted punches. But his last fight, he just did not look the same anymore. So this is a good fight for Tito. First couple of rounds, he'll be the sniper. He's going to tire out, and Tito's going to wear him down. Tito's a future. I think Tito is one of the future fighters that we're going to be seeing and be very proud of. He's from East LA, right?
I don't know exactly where he's from. Is he from East Los?
I think so. I'm not sure. Somebody could tell us.
You know, it's too bad, man, that Mikey was having difficulties because he's really up on game on Mercado.
Tito, yes, he's always liked
But I will say this. I will say this. As far as like the boxing world, Mercado kind of flies a little bit under the radar. But in the barrios, I hear his name all the time, man. I hear his name all the time. Hey, this dude Mercado, damn, this dude's badass, you know. And yeah, he is. You watch him fight. This kid's got a lot going on for
Ed, who's his
him,
promoter?
man.
Do you know who his promoter is?
I do not know that. If anybody knows, let us know. But Mercado, if he sticks with it, he's only 23 years old, David.
You know what? They're not doing a good job promoting this kid, man.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
They're not doing a good job. He's a good fighter, and you know what? His name should already at 16-0. I mean, look at David Morrell, 11-0, and he's fighting. You know, a big pay-per-view. So no, this guy needs a better promoter, man. Whomever it is, they're not doing a good job with him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say that after. Okay, no problem. All right, Mikey. Have a good one, big dog. Mikey, just having technical difficulties tonight, man. It's all right. He'll be on here next week.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you, David. This kid needs to be blowing up a little bit more with the fame. At the same time, David, you know, maybe it's a good thing that not too many people are really talking about him. But I do believe, David, I do believe after tomorrow night, I do believe that is the start of his stardom. You know, having a fighter.
Yeah.
Having a fighter like Pedraza, and if he comes and he shows out and he stops Pedraza, I think that puts his name on the map, man, when it comes to becoming a little bit more of a star. But that's a good one, man. 10-round fight. I'm gonna say he stops him too, David. I'm gonna say he stops him. I'd say in the 7th round, man. And I'm gonna say, David, that it's not a knockout. I'm gonna say the referee stops it. I think that's what we're looking at. I think the referee stops it. So, all right, moving on. We got Andy Cruz versus Omar Salido. Andy Cruz, I can almost guarantee I've seen this dude fight.
You have it. You've seen him fight. We talked about it before.
Okay,
he's Cuban. He's Olympian. He fought Keyshawn Davis for the gold, and he beat Keyshawn Davis for the gold. This guy fights Chicano, Mexican style. He's a Cuban, but he goes in and he fights Mexican style. This kid is the real deal, man. This kid, he's the real deal. Andy Cruz, he's the real deal.
David, this is only his 5th fight.
Yes.
This is only his 5th fight. He's going in there against Salido, who's 20-1. You know, and you know these Cubans, how they focus so much on their amateur career. Andy Cruz, he's almost 30 years old. He's 29 years old, man, and there's only gonna be his 5th fight. These Cubans move pretty fast in the professional ranks, man. Salido's 25 years old, so it's not like he's fighting a complete tomato can here, David. What's your thoughts on this fight?
This guy's a gold medalist, Ed. He's another Lomachenko. I'm not saying he's Lomachenko. It's Eddie Hearn. Really, I'm surprised Eddie Hearn isn't pushing Mercado. I mean,
and
yeah,
he
he's
might.
pushing all these other idiots. Why isn't he pushing Mercado? You know what I mean? Literally. Why isn't he pushing Mercado? Hopefully after this one he will. But going back
Yeah.
to Andy Cruz, I'm not saying he's don't quote me that he's the Lomachenko, but dude, he's at that caliber. Not style wise, not style
Mm.
wise, but he's at that caliber. Yeah, he's 5-0, but this guy's a Cuban fighter, probably has 300 fights under his belt. You know what I mean? And then for him to win the gold medal against Keyshawn, dude, this kid, I've seen him fight. I've seen two of his last 5 fights. I enjoyed watching his fights because he does not fight Cuban style where they're very technical. No, dude, this guy attacks you and this guy slugs it out. He slugs, and I'm trying to think who his manager. Man, that's too bad Mikey's not here because Mikey knows a
Mm.
lot about him. Mikey likes him a lot. So I'm surprised. Yeah, Mikey would tell us. I think he has a Chicano trainer. I
Okay.
mean, like I said, I don't have it here, but I like Andy Cruz. He's a real deal.
Okay. All right. Definitely one. Dos Matadores saying 29 years in Cuban probably means more like 32.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Salido's no pushover either, man. So he's
Mhm.
only got one loss. So, it's a 10-round fight. Let's see what happens there. The main event on that one is Diego Pacheco in what is it, a 10-round, 12-round fight against Nelson, Steven Nelson. David, I don't really know much about this Steven Nelson guy, but he is an undefeated fighter. He's 20-0. Um, I, I haven't really done too much digging around. However, however, he's 36 years old.
Ed, you seen him fight. Do you remember his fight?
No.
He fought in the Crawford fight there in LA.
Oh, okay.
You remember he fought in the Crawford
Okay.
fight there in LA.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
You remember?
So I don't
Mhm.
now that I'm looking at his face and I'm seeing his name, I'm thinking maybe I do remember him fighting. Um
And you know what? Keyshawn Davis and Crawford were at his corner when he fought that night. Actually, I'm sorry.
okay.
Crawford wasn't
I
at his corner, but Keyshawn Davis was, and Shakur Stevenson was there too. They love
and
this.
okay, but David, he's 36 years old.
Yeah, he started late because he got arrested for a shooting. I
Okay.
think he did some time. He started late, but it's going to be a good fight, man. It's going to be a good fight just because he has Bo in his corner, and you know what? Bo's a good trainer. He doesn't have dummies. You know what I mean? Um, it's going to be a good fight. Is he going to win? No, I don't see him winning. But is he going to give him a good fight? I think he is. I think because he's a scrapper and he fights. He has the Crawford style, but he's not Crawford. But I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be tough. I agree with you, Demetrio. It's going to be tough, and Pacheco needs a scrappy, hungry. I'm not going to call him a veteran because he only has 20-0. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But
mm.
it's going to be a good fight. He's strong and he goes to the body a lot and he could take punches. He could take punches. So it's going to be good. No. Derek Ennis isn't his trainer. It's Bo.
Is Bomac?
Yeah, Bo Max his trainer.
All right. The measurements here,
Oh, he's small. He's
Diego.
5'10".
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
5'10". Diego Pacheco is 6'4".
yeah.
So I mean, he's really gonna have to try to get on the inside here on Pacheco.
And that's what he's
Um,
good at. And he's good in the inside. That's why I say he's good at the body shots. But it's going to be a good fight because I don't see Diego. Diego's going to scrap with him. Diego's not going to keep him at arm's length. Diego's going to scrap with him, and that's when the fight is going to get good. I don't see Diego boxing him, and Diego should box him. He should, but the kid is young. We saw his last fight. He should have boxed, but he fought. So that's going to be not a mistake, but it's going to be an exciting fight. It's going to be a good fight.
David, what's your thoughts on Diego Pacheco, man? Where does he stand for you right now? Like, it's like, do you think he can be the next guy? Do you not think he could be the next guy? Can he just be? a contender? Do you see anything special? Is he just going to be an average fighter? If you had to rank him for his future in boxing, where do you see him?
After this fight, if he fights Plant, then I'll answer your question. Until he
Okay.
fights Plant, until he fights Mobili, until I was going to say Jaime Munguia, even Berlanga. I want to see him fight Berlanga. And I want to see him fight Jaime Munguia. I want to see him fight. He hasn't fought anybody at a champion's level yet. You know what I mean? But he is now in a position where he has to prove himself. He hasn't proven himself yet. He hasn't fought any former champions. He hasn't fought anybody, any well-known person. The only reason why we know about Nelson is because of Bomac. That's the only reason why. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you, but Elijah Garcia lost. This guy hasn't lost yet. I think he's higher than Elijah because of Elijah's loss. He didn't look good in his last time. He got knocked out. But let him fight one of the former champions. Even Munguia. Let him fight Munguia. Let him fight Berlanga. Let him fight Berlanga, and then I'll answer your question, Ed. But right now, I see him as still a prospect, bro. I still see him as a prospect, believe it or not, because of his competition.
Okay. I'll give everybody an answer. I don't see anything special in him.
No,
I don't.
he's not.
I don't think he'll ever be an all-time great. I don't think he'll ever be. I think he'll be good. I think he can get better. But I think Caleb Plant puts it to him. I think Munguia puts it to him. Maybe even Berlanga. I don't know. You know, that'd be a good one to see. I'd like to see that one.
But he changes trainers. I don't like Jose Benavides as a trainer. I think Jose Benavides can only take you so much, like he took Rayo, and then a Robert Garcia comes up that takes you higher. I think this kid has the goods, but he has to change trainer. He has to change trainer. I don't see him going any higher with Jose Benavides. They say Jose's a very nice guy. God bless him. But we have seen patterns of behavior, and that pattern has not changed. He can only take you so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So again, I'm not saying. I want to make it clear. I think he can definitely get better, but I don't think he can ever become great. I don't think he can ever become that. I just don't see that special. I just don't see it in him. He can have some good fights and compete and have a good career in boxing, but I don't think he can ever be the guy, which is not a bad thing. Hey man,
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you.
Yeah. So how does this fight end tomorrow, David?
Split decision or unanimous decision. I don't see a knockout. This kid is strong. This 36-year-old dude, he's solid. He's strong. If Pacheco does knock him out, you know what? That's a check mark. That's a good check mark on his record because this kid has never been knocked out or knocked down. I didn't think he's been knocked down before, and he has a good defense. So that'd be a good check mark for Pacheco if he knocks him out. Do I see Nelson knocking Pacheco out? No, I don't see it. No.
Okay. Hey, Joaquin. Berlanga doesn't got it in him. Berlanga got a fur coat and gold chains on him, man. That guy is still doing some victory laps, man. Let's see if we get him in the ring again. What's up, Vince?
What's up, brother?
Hey, David Munguia now goes in with the Canelo camp. What's your thoughts on that, man? I saw what you wrote, and I'm like, that's a very good point. So just air out what your feeling is about that.
I'm not sold on Eddie Reynoso. Everybody's sold on him because Canelo, dude, he inherited Canelo. I mean, let's be truthful here. He inherited Canelo. He didn't build Canelo. Chepo, his father, built Canelo. I mean, he's had a chance with Valdez. He's had a chance with Ray Martinez. He's now going to get Theo. Now he's going to get. I mean, what has he really done with these guys? Yeah, you know what? Valdez beat Berchel, but look how terrible he looked twice against Vaquero. You know what I mean? I I don't see Eddie as this. Yeah, he got trainer of the year because of Canelo. What else? He got Ryan Garcia, and then people argue, well, Ryan wasn't disciplined. Well, he couldn't do nothing with Ryan. He had El Panzon, what's his name? The former world champion, Andy Reese.
Andy Reese. Yeah.
Andy Reese. And what did he do with him? He didn't do nothing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you. He's getting fatter every year, going to the taco shops. You know what I mean? Looks like he's eating Canelo now. So I'm not sold, bro. You know, he is. He's getting huge, dude. But I am not sold. I have nothing against him. I want him to prosper. I want our Chicanos, our Mexicanos to be the best, but I'm not sold on him, bro. I'm more sold on Robert Garcia. I'm more sold on Manny Robles. I'm sold on those guys. You know what I mean? On Joel Diaz, I'm sold. But on this dude, it's a mistake. Jaime should go back to Freddie Roach. He looked good with Freddie Roach against Canelo. He's making a mistake going with Panzon.
You know, it's a good point that you bring up, David. When I was reading that, I was just like, yeah, you know, I mean, everybody gives him the kudos because
Yeah.
of Canelo. You know, that's why the guy's really known. But if you take that away, if you take that one fighter away, you know, what does he got? You
What
know,
have you
how
done for
many
me lately? What have you done? You know?
well, how many accolades do you really put on the guy where it's like, hey man, oh, this guy builds fighters. Man, you go to that gym and he makes you, you know, champ. He makes you the guy. Yeah, I'm not saying I agree with you wholeheartedly, but you do make me think about it. You do make me think about it where I'm like, huh, okay. Well, you know, now that Tio is there and Mungia goes there, is there anything to you, David, where it's like, okay, you're gonna go to the camp while the guy that beat you still there? Or is that cool with you?
You know, Mikey said it best. Mungia is done. You know what I mean? Mikey
Mm,
said it best. You on that same link that we were talking, we were writing. Mungia doesn't have the passion anymore. You know what I mean? Why is he going to that camp? You know what I mean? He's going to that camp. Yeah, they train in a high altitude in Lake Tahoe. That's where they do a lot of the training. And Mungia loves to run, in the snow or whatever, up in Big Bear. Uh, I just don't see. I don't see the defense, man. I don't see Mungia. I agree with you, Raider. There's only one Canelo. You know what I mean? The way he moves
mm.
his body. I mean, I didn't see him teaching. Yes, he looked great against Berchel, Raider. But what about his last four fights after Berchel? He looked terrible when he fought, and he even lost that fight. I'm trying to remember who he fought against in Phoenix, and then the two losses against ¿cómo se llama?
Navarrete,
Navarrete.
Navarrete,
You remember,
Navarrete.
I'm talking about the fight where they said that he cheated, and then he went in. He looked
Yeah,
terrible. He lost that
yeah,
fight, but they gave
yeah.
it to him.
Mm.
So Raider, he looked good one time against Berchel. Other than that, he's looked terrible. He has not. He is not the same fighter that he was under Manny Robles. He's a malagradecido. He left Manny Robles to go over there. We're talking about Valdez. So no. You know what? I haven't seen it. And is he going to make what's his name? Teo,
Mungia.
another Canelo?
Oh,
No, I don't see it. I hope he does though. Like I said, I like Theo, and you know what, Raider? I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong because, like I said before, I want our Mexican trainers, Chicano trainers, to be the best in the world because we are the best. And you know what? But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. You're right,
what
Raider. I
what
hope I'm
you know
wrong.
what like Raider was putting on there. His problem is that he tries to make everybody like Canelo, and
You can't.
you can't
No,
do that. You can't
no,
do that. You got to see what style the fighter already has, and shine some light on his great attributes because you can't make every fighter the same fighter. It's
no.
just it's not gonna happen. So, well, you know, we'll see what's up with that, man. So, the news before we wrap it up, just sticking on Canelo real quick. the news of Canelo fighting Crawford. We were talking about it last Friday, David, and it was like, okay, it's still not a done deal.
Well, they're saying
And there's like,
September now, right?
oh,
September.
yeah, yeah, okay, okay. So,
Yeah.
so the whole thing was like, okay, why is it taking so long? From what I understood, there just needed to be one signature left. But now we understand why it's a process, and that is because Canelo is signing a three-fight deal with Turkey Al Sheikh.
Mhm,
So it's not just a one and done against Crawford.
mhm.
Yes, there's the fight in September, but apparently he's fighting in May as well. We don't know against whom, but that Canelo in that contract, this is why it's taking so long. It's not just Canelo versus Crawford. No, he's signing a three-fight
Yeah.
deal with with the Turk. David, what's your thoughts on the whole thing?
You know what? I hope he fights Skull and he unites the
Okay.
belts in
Mm.
May. That would be. I've never seen Skull, so I can't tell you. But it might be an easy fight for him. But I don't quote me. I've never seen Skull, never heard of Skull until now. But I hear Berlanga wants to fight him. I hear a lot of guys want to fight Skull, so he must be an easy fight. So I'd like to see him fight Skull in May, get all the belts, and then fight. Este Crawford. I think it'd be a good fight. It'd be a money maker, and that's what they want. They want to make money. It'd be a lot of people are going to buy that fight. It's going to not break records, but it's a fight that a lot of people are going to buy. Am I excited about it? Not even. But you know what? Why not? Why not? Let them both make
And,
a lot of money. You know.
and David, who should the third fight be?
You know, don't know. I want to see who the winner is of Benavides and Morel next week,
Okay.
dude. I want to see that now. That fight I'm excited about. I think out of all the fights right now, other than on the 29th, the big card with Vivol and everybody, that card I am excited about. I can't wait till next Friday so we could talk about it. I mean, dude, that is going to be a banger. That's going to be a good fight, a real fight.
All right. And now that we're talking about Canelo, looks like it's working. Mikey, you there?
Oh, good. What's
What's
up?
up, guys? You guys can hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we got you. We're getting ready to wrap it up, brother. But it looks like the reason why it was taking so long for Canelo and Crawford to come to an agreement is not because it was just a one deal with Canelo. Canelo is signing a three-fight deal with Turkey Al Sheikh. One of them with one of them with Crawford in September. Mikey, who should he fight in May, and who should his third fight be?
Yeah, well, May. I mean, it's the rumors are out there. It's William Skull. He could get that
Yeah.
the undisputed belt, the last belt. To we talked about this. To make it more prestigious in the headings for the fight in September versus Crawford, he's going for all his belts, undisputed. And it sounds better. So marketing is there. And then the third fight, I mean, the winner of Bivon better be if Canelo is down to take a gamble, and or if Benavides wins and he looks good, and Turkey Al Sheikh, he's making those fights. We talked about Dave said it today. He's making the fight. So if they give Canelo the right bag, which he said, give me the bag and I'll fight Benavides. Is it at 168, 175? We don't know. He might even make Benavides fight him at for all his belts at 168. Can Benavides make 168? He looks a little bit Nachichi, so we'll see. We'll see. But it looks good. And for the right bag, Canelo will fight. He's not afraid of anyone. I guarantee that.
And you know what, Mikey? He will force Benavides to go to 168 to weaken him. You know what I mean? And it's okay.
Man,
It's okay. Yeah.
Benavides keeps talking. He keeps talking. He doesn't stop. So, in other words, he wants that fight, and he's willing to go to 168. Then Canelo's going to bring him down. Like when Floyd, when Canelo wanted to fight Floyd, he said, "Okay, fight me at 152 pounds," and Canelo did it. And years later, Canelo said that he was feigning before the fight because he couldn't make 152.
Real quick, it's always, oh, if Benavides wins. What if Morel wins?
Oh, yeah.
Would anybody want to see that Morel
Yes.
versus Canelo?
Yes.
If
Yes.
Morel gets in there and let's say
Yes.
he puts it to Benavides, wins the fight, would that be just as big for everybody?
I think so. I think so.
Okay.
What do you
Mikey,
think, Mikey? You think it'd be the same with or people are going to say he's afraid of him, like he's afraid of Benavides?
If Morrell beats Benavides, I don't
Mhm.
think it's the same. Dave and Ed, I don't think it's the same. The Benavides, they've been talking trash since forever. Like the Mexican monster, or I'm the real Mexican, et cetera, et cetera. A Cuban fighter, it doesn't really sell. I don't think it, unless of course it's Canelo, but I think it's that Benavides fight. That's the fight that these guys are fighting.
Even if he loses, Mikey.
I mean, Turkey El Sheikh makes these fight.
I
He's
know.
making fights with losers.
You think people are going to be excited to see him fight if he loses against Morel?
Yeah, yeah,
You
Dave.
think so? Yeah.
Yeah. Because we've seen the Tyson Fury fight. We've seen these guys that take L's. Turkey El Sheikh doesn't care. He's
No.
making the fight.
Yes. You're
And it
absolutely
will
right.
sell. The dad will start talking trash, and that fight will sell. That's what I'm saying. It's not in the ring, but what's outside the ring, and that pre-fight, the behind the scenes, it's gonna be crazy, man. If that fight does come up.
Mikey's right. Turkey doesn't care. You have a loss, who cares? But you know
Yeah.
what? I agree with Mikey on this. I agree. You know what? We would be more excited even if he took a loss for Canelo to fight him. So shut everybody up that Canelo's afraid of him. He's not afraid of him.
Yeah.
Probably. Hey, Mikey. We gotta wrap it up. But your predictions for tomorrow's fight.
Oh man, tomorrow's fight is gonna be a great test for this young fighter. He's fight. What's the name of the veteran? I had it on my notes. My brain's. I was
I think
trying to
it's
get
Steve
online.
Nelson.
Steven Nelson, yeah. Steven Nelson. I seen him fight in LA. He looked good. I watched his highlights. His inside game is good. He goes to the body. He trains with Crawford, and what I heard, he spars with Crawford. And he's not the fastest. And if you look at his record, and I took the notes, but right now I'm everywhere. He's not as active. He fights 2 times a year, once a year, and then he fought twice a year in these last 2 years. So he's not really that active, but he has 80% knockout ratio. He has power. He's a crafty veteran. He's from Omaha, Nebraska. He's with the Crawford and Crawford's team. He's good, dude. This guy has skills, and he is gonna take Pacheco to deep waters. But I can't see. I never seen this guy take a punch. Pacheco hits like a mule. So I think it's gonna be a good fight, man. It's gonna be a good fight, and he could beat Pacheco. But I got Pacheco. The kid's strong, and the kid has skills, man. He's proved me right so far, and a little slow, but I think I got Pacheco on this, man, because this guy isn't fast. So it's gonna be a banger.
Hey, Ed, did you see Pacheco's physique on this one?
No,
Dude,
I
I've
haven't seen
never
the
seen,
way.
you just watch the weigh-in. I've never seen Pacheco this cut. I mean, the guy, I thought he had surgery literally on his abs. I mean, the guy is cut. I mean, cut. He looks
Okay.
good. Pacheco looks good physically. You know what I mean? He looks good.
They got Memo, right? They got Memo. Memo makes you look good, man. We don't know what he puts in those juices.
Does he really have Memo Heredia?
Doesn't the Benavides camp the dad and they train with Memo, or it's just David Benavides
I don't
exclusively?
know. I didn't know that. But if they do, you know what? This kid, watch the weigh-in. Like I said, I
Okay.
had to look twice. The dude is cut, man.
Yeah, he looked good.
He did.
He looked good. Even Steven Nelson looked good though. Steven Nelson looked nice and slim too. He's ready. He's ready.
Hey, and you know what? This could be Steven Nelson's chance to make some money. He's undefeated. He's 36 years old. He knows this is Hail Mary
Mm-hmm.
to get some bigger fights. So, all right, gentlemen. Mikey, how does this fight end tomorrow?
It has to go. It has to end by knockout, man. These guys have 80% knockout ratio. Either Pacheco's gonna get hurt. We're gonna see him get hurt for the very first time in his career. Probably even finish, because this guy, like I said, he's with the Crawford, the Crawford camp. These guys know how to fight, man. They got Keyshawn, right? Keyshawn's with the Crawford camp also, right? If I'm not mistaken. So yeah, these guys have skills, man. Yeah, these guys got skills. They go to the body. They got skills, man. So if they see blood, okay, Pacheco's gonna get stopped. But I see Pacheco stopping the older veteran with the length, the power, and the youth, man. I got Pacheco knockout.
Okay, man, a knockout. Let's see if we get it. All right, I gotta get out of here. All right, that is David Contreras. It's good to have actual boxing back.
Yeah, hey brother, can I just make a quick announcement? You
Yes,
know
sir.
what, guys? Next week on the Gray Line, the story behind the Blue Line, it's going to be on Tuesday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. We're going to be celebrating our 100th episode. We have Mundo Mendoza. He's going to be on live with Hector Bravo. So Hector Bravo, the prison guard, he's going to be on live. It's going to be a great episode. We're going to talk about the Mexican mafia, about the prisons, the new implementation of a program called the Norway Project. But guys, it's our 100th episode. If you get a chance, watch it. You're not going to regret it. It's going to be a great episode. Plus, we're live, so you could ask Mundo or Hector any questions that are related to the subject matter, and they'll answer your questions live next week on the Gray Line.
Will you be smoking a cigar, David?
Not on that one. I smoke a cigar on Wednesday, on Ash Wednesday. That's when we smoke a cigar and have a good trago on the show. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
All right, that is David Contreras, Mike Zavala, Cholo Choco, Los Tres Chingones Boxing. Enjoy the fights. Whatever you guys do this weekend, be safe doing so we can come back and do it again. It's so great that boxing is back. I love, man.
Me too. I'm glad.
I'm glad to see some
We're
fights.
back. Yeah. Take it
All
easy,
right.
guys.
Catch you guys on next round.